Hello, and welcome to the first episode of My Awesome Self versus the Douche Lord. Excuse me, I meant to say My Awesome Self versus the Vigilant Christian. Before we begin, I do want to talk a little bit about this image that he keeps using whenever he, quote-unquote, debates someone. What is that supposed to be? I mean, it's almost like he's trying to channel young Stephen Hawking or something, but because he's obviously nowhere near that caliber, it completely fails and comes across more as Austin Powers than anything else. Which I do take as a personal insult because I actually like those movies. But why bring it up? What does that have anything to do with the content of the video? Well, the reason I mention this is because it's interesting that he never appears this way in any of his videos. If he was playing a character called the Vigilant Christian, that's all snooty and pretentious, then I could understand it. But no, the Vigilant Christian is really himself, in all his snooty and pretentious arrogance. So, what's up with this costume then? Is he trying to come across as wise? Certainly not, because as soon as he opens his mouth, you'll be asking for a bucket. Speaking of which...
Hey everyone, it's the Vigilant Christian Mario, and you're here for another edition of New World Order Exposed. In today's video, I wanted to talk about why the Illuminati are so concerned about brainwashing the masses with evolution.
Unlike a certain religion that doesn't seek to brainwash people, like, at all.
It's so important for the elite to condition the masses to believe in something like evolution. And why is that?
I don't know, but I fear you're gonna tell us, aren't you?
Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how brainwashing people into thinking that evolution is an actual human process is important to the end-time fulfillment of Bible prophecy and the establishment of the Antichrist.
Ah, okay. Well, let's see where you're going with this.
So let's get into it. Now, why would it be important for the elite to brainwash people to believe that this is an actual reality, that humanity is in an evolutionary process?
Ignoring the New World Order nonsense for a moment, evolution is a fact. We can see it happening, and we've observed it happening in rapidly reproducing species, like, for example, fish or flies.
That we've come either from a little cell, primordial soup. I mean, not all scientists, quote-unquote scientists, evolutionists agree, but whatever, they all agree we came from something, and then we grew into something else, into something, and we grew, and then we grew into bigger and bigger species until humanity that we have today, the man and woman that we have in modern culture.
Well, that's an oversimplified way of putting it. How about you actually read a book or a blog about it? Or is that too much for your brain to handle?
But if this is true, it begs the question, what's next? That is ultimately why they want to deceive people into believing this lie, is because it puts the question, what's next, at the forefront.
And here we have the oh-so-vigilant Christian stumbling into the famous pitfall that many fundamentalists tend to stumble. Unlike our good friend Mario here wants us to believe, there is in fact no goal in the evolutionary process. Will there be an evolution of Homo sapiens in the future? Definitely. But what Mario and a lot of other fundamentalists tend to ignore is that evolution is not a self-aware entity. The evolution of a species is heavily dependent on the environment. If the environment of Earth changes, then so may we.
Because if humans came from primordial soup or whatever theory, rocks, crystals, monkeys, whatever it is, whatever ridiculous evolutionary theory the government brainwashed you with, you're coming from that to something. And the natural progression of logic and reason is to understand that there's going to be a next step.
Whatever it is, You know what? I didn't actually want to do this, but I feel the need now to introduce you to a good friend of mine. Meet Jigglypuff. Apart from being one of the cutest Pokemon out there, it also tends to have a very low tolerance level for bullshit. It also has 4 potent attacks to counter any and all arguments in favor of supernatural superstitions. They are Sing, to shut people up, Pound, to give them good beating, Agility, to successfully evade any or all bullshit slings at it, and a special attack I taught it called Marker. What's Marker, you ask? Well, whenever Jigglypuff's bullshit meter overloads, it will take a marker it always carries with it to immediately point out said bullshit.
So that is why they want to deceive people, because the next step is actually their great deception. It is the deception that the Bible prophesied about when the Antichrist would come, that this would be his final deception on humanity. And it's even begun in the New Age movement. I'm going to be exposing this movie called The Celestine Prophecy based on the books of the Celestine Prophecy.
Oh, please do.
Because the New Age movement has adopted the theory of evolution and has tried to answer the question of what's next. They believe they know what's next. So in the movie, I'm just going to show you how this theory of evolution even plays out into spiritual deceptions.
Oh boy, Mario is actually attempting a review.
This is a clip from the movie. So you have the main character who is a teacher, a sub-teacher, and this is him looking on the wall. So if you notice here, he's looking at the story of creation. Yeah, the lie, by the way.
Unlike your creation story that's backed by mountains of evidence, right? I mean, right?
But the New Age movement isn't spiritually discerning to know that this is a lie, so they have adopted it. But see how good it fits in here. Okay, look, so the story of evolution, Big Bang, woo, okay, and then primordial soup or whatever, oh, little creatures, little bugs, oh, okay, for some reason we're just changing completely into new organisms all of a sudden, and we keep going, and oh, no, now we're monkeys, oh, now we're men, and okay, and now we're here. And notice what he does. What's next?
Apart from, again, reminding you that there is no intended goal within the evolutionary process, it's nice to see where you get your information on evolution from.
Because you see, the theory of evolution does that. It brainwashes people to believe that there is something coming, something next. And that is part of the brainwashing because the elite are preparing the masses for a final deception to move them into a new world order.
Again, evolution doesn't do anything in this sense. And on a related topic, for someone who's so concerned about a one-world government, what the hell is this whole Jesus reigning for 1,000 years thing about? Are you going to tell me that Jesus is going to put himself up for election with other candidates? I doubt it.
And part of that will be to offer them that very step in evolution. Soon, probably in the next couple decades, 2 to 3, 4 decades tops, humanity will be offered a step in evolution. You don't believe me? It's happening right now. Ray Kurzweil, a Google executive, has been out talking about how I believe his estimation is 2040 approximately, that through technology, humanity can merge with machine and take that next step in evolution. And in fact, we will be immortal and not die. Time Magazine, 2045, the year man becomes immortal.
A couple of things here. First of all, you do realize that Time Magazine is not a peer-reviewed journal, don't you? And that anything these kind of magazines say should not be taken at face value. Also, I think the nostalgia critic said it best in his review of The Purge when he said that it's more likely that we're going to dress like the kids in the 2015 setting of Back to the Future 2 than have The Purge be a reality by 2022. Or this nonsense for that matter.
The year man evolves. Because think about it, in our current state, we die. We have the physical death that will occur. Now, if we were to go to a state in which we would have a body that we could inhabit that would not die, that is a step in evolution. So you see, they're preparing the masses by brainwashing them when they have them in the schools, which they own and operate, condition them, and because the masses believe that whatever's most popular, oh, you know, everyone believes in evolution and the schools tell us and all the scientists tell us because they play that angle out, people just buy it and they end up deceived ridiculously.
Mario, you do know that the Gospels you base your primitive worldview on were deliberately chosen because those were the most popular stories of Jesus at the time, don't you?
And at the end of time, they will end up deceived by the great deception. You see, what they're going to offer them is a evolution by either technological changes in the body, nanotechnology, also DNA. We're getting to the point now that we can do things in the DNA and mix and play God. That's what these scientists are now going to be doing. They're going to be offering humanity a step in evolution to become like gods through their science, right? Immortal. They're going to offer man immortality through their technology because they are playing God.
What? You mean like we did with every piece of livestock we own and every type of grain we ever planted? It's called artificial selection. Look it up. Also, there's nothing wrong with having a chip implanted in your brain that restores the connection between the brain and your nerve system to make you see again if you're blind or hear again if you're deaf.
But the Bible actually reveals that all of these things are evil, that this science that these people are trying to accomplish, to make themselves immortal, to live forever, to be like God, to create their own things through cloning and creating different species by splicing different species in their DNA. All these weird things that these Illuminati scientists are doing, their plans will fail.
With splicing, I assume you mean crossbreeding. Like we did with hinnies and mules? Is that what you're saying?
And what we consider as great science nowadays, we're going to realize was ran by a bunch of Nazi nut jobs who were trying to become like God.
Godwin, 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 Godwin.
On this hell-bent, delusional mission to become like God, because that's what they want. The Illuminati want to become like God, right? You guys want to evolve? Want to evolve from monkeys into gods. That's the lie. And the majority of you are going to fall for it.
Again, ignoring the fact that there is no intended goal in the evolutionary process, we fall for it, as you say, because it has clearly been demonstrated that it happens. We can observe this happening in real time, and we've seen changes in crops and found remains.
So I just wanted to make a video here because a lot of people don't understand how the evolution lie fits into the plans for the New World Order and Bible prophecy. Very important because humanity must be deceived into thinking there is a coming evolution so that they can hook, line, and sinker swallow the end-time deception that they can become like God through transhumanism or transforming their DNA, genetic modification.
What the fuck is transhumanism? And what the hell are you... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You shouldn't have done that. Oh no. Jigglypuff doesn't like people using words that can't be defined. Oh no. Jigglypuff. Easy. Easy. God damn it, Mario. I told you you shouldn't have done that.